Welcome into Palmetto Sports Daily. Guys, it's been a really long time since we've had everybody in-house. Great to see all four of us here represented and all back home. Julia Westerman here in Columbia, joined by Tegan, Brownyn, and Ella from around the state of South Carolina. Guys, it has been a whirlwind of the last few weeks, but especially this last week, capping off the Masters tournament in Augusta, Georgia, and Rory McIlroy does it again. He wins back-to-back green jackets, just the fourth ever golfer to do so in consecutive years, and the first to do so since 2001 and 2002 when Tiger Woods did it. Just a really exciting weekend across the board. I mean, of course, when he built up that six-stroke lead through 2 rounds and then immediately saw it go all away on Saturday, but then fought to the finish to, defend his green jacket and keep it for another year. And a lot was said to him or asked to him of him what this one feels like in comparison to last year. And he talked about that in his press conference Sunday night.
I said it at the start of the weekend here. I felt like the Grand Slam was the destination, and I realized it wasn't, and I'm on this journey to, I don't know, I've just won my 6th major, and I feel like I'm in a really good spot with my game and my body, and, I don't want to put a number on it, but, it's just a part of the journey. And, I still have things that I want to achieve, and but I still want to enjoy it as well.
And enjoy it he will. Just a spectacular finish there to win at 12 under and only beat out Scottie Scheffler by 1 stroke. Scottie finished at 11 under, and we had our eyes on a lot of different guys across the state as we were watching throughout the weekend. But before we get to all of that, we had 2 members of our team that went to the Masters for the very first time. Brownyn and Ella, I just want to know, how was this experience for both of you? Ella?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's no words that can be used to describe walking that course. And Julia, we got to walk it together for quite a while there, and it just was one of the most unforgettable experiences of my career, probably of my life, to watch them play, to watch the caliber of the hills that you see, the shots that you see. It takes your breath away. And we were talking about Rory's performance and what he said in the press conference on Friday about whether he would want to win it by large margin or win it in a shootout, if you will. And I mean, I guess we saw it there at the end. It was not what he originally wanted. Obviously, you want to win it by large margin, but it was fun to watch it turn into such an exciting what-if scenario there at the end, especially with Scottie. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw all those shots that he was just an inch off of. So just all of it all together, the incredible tournament that we watched, the sights, the smells, the taste, it was amazing. Brownyn, what do you think? I mean, I could go on.
It was one of those things. I think there's very few things in life where you hype up something and you're hoping it lives to the expectation. Then you get there and it doesn't, right? Not Augusta. Augusta not only lives up to the hype, it blows it out of the water. I think it's the best place I've ever been in my life. It was just incredible. If anyone can ever have the chance to go, because you will not regret it. Being 3 feet from Scottie Scheffler on the practice rounds and watching Rory literally with my own eyes tee off on Saturday at the first hole was insane. And of course, he took us on that signature Rory McIlroy roller coaster ride where you're like, we're so back, we're so done, we're so back, we're so done. So, of course, he did that yesterday. Scottie Scheffler, as you mentioned, came out of nowhere. He kind of had like a subpar performance, even for him. That's obviously better than most golfers, but came out of nowhere yesterday, storming. Just a great, I mean, if you're going to say that golf is boring, just go back and watch yesterday's round because you will change your mind very quickly. No breathing room on that leaderboard. It could have gone so many different ways. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next year. I already have depression from post-Masters blues.
Well, guys, and something that's so special each year with the Masters is seeing the people who get to make their debut and get to play that course for the first time. And Ella, we got to follow Jacob Bridgman all week long, the former Clemson star, and he made the cut and got to play all 4 days at Augusta National. He was very gracious with his time talking to us after all of his rounds. So a really special moment to get to see him come out and play that course and do as well as he did.
Yeah, I mean, to experience Augusta National for the first time and try to figure out how to play the course is no easy task, and I think he did an incredible job. I mean, that first day didn't really go the way that he wanted to, but to finish the second day 2 under, I mean, he had a fantastic day, and he was talking a lot about the Tigers support that he was feeling out there on the course. He said he heard a lot of "Go Tigers" throughout the day, and then we also had another local upstate native here are participating in the tournament. Novak, he unfortunately did not make the cut, but again, a first appearance there in the Masters is no easy feat. And he also spoke just about the experience of being out there for the first time and all that brings and all the emotion that brings. Brownyn, it's a dream come true for these players to be out there and experiencing it. So just such a special moment for them, win or loss.
Yeah, that's right. Andrew Novak, academic magnet alum, right here around Charleston. Some interesting, I love my stats, so I got to pull them out, right? Jacob Bridgman, he's the 4th former Clemson golfer to make the cut in his first career Masters, the first since 2003. He had that final round Sunday of 76, tied for 41st. He's still 3rd in FedEx Cup standings, right behind Scotty Scheffler and Cameron Young. Both had top 5 finishes this weekend at the Masters. That kid has a bright future ahead of him, that is for sure. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but stick with us. Palmetto Sports is going to be right back.
Well, let's talk about a different type of swing. We went from golf, now let's talk about a little baseball swing. Let's start with the Clemson Tigers. Things were looking really great for them to start this weekend. They had a weekend series against the North Carolina Tar Heels. The first game, they stunned the number 5 seed Tar Heels. They won that one 9-5, and then things kind of went downhill from there. Saturday, they headed into 14 innings with the Tar Heels, ended up losing that one. And then in the rubber match, they gave up 16 hits en route to a loss. So things just haven't really been going the Tigers' way recently. Not the greatest season, not what they've usually kind of been doing under Eric Bakich. But, in that sense, I feel like, Julia, I got to toss it over to you because we're also seeing something a little bit different over in Columbia. What's happening with the Gamecocks baseball?
Guys, for the first time in over 2 years, I get to say that South Carolina baseball swept an SEC series. They take down Missouri on the road in 3 games, and that is their first sweep since March of 2024. It was kind of hard to believe keeping up with it alongside golf through the weekend. Heard they won on Thursday, heard they won on Friday, and then I'm like, wait a minute. What's going to happen Saturday? And then they do it again. Just kind of great to see from this team that's, I feel like, still really trying to find its identity after, the departure of Paul Maneri, Monty Lee taking over. The guys just trying to, get things going and kind of take this season back for what it is. But what a way to do it. I mean, in Game 3, you have 4 home runs. Dawson Harmon has 2 of the 4. He had an incredible day on Saturday. And then, of course, Friday night, starting pitcher Amp Phillips named the SEC co-pitcher of the week. He went nearly 9 innings, gave up 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts in the 1-0 victory over the Tigers on Friday night. So just really great to see from this team that is, of course, kind of been super volatile throughout this season and still trying to figure out where it's going to go, but just exactly what you want to see if you're a Gamecock fan looking for some wins. They, of course, host Davidson this upcoming Tuesday night, and then they have number 9 Mississippi State coming to Columbia this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that momentum going.
Julia, I kind of want to ask you now that we're just a couple weeks, or I don't even know, I've lost concept of time right now with everything going on.
I don't know what day
however amount of time it's been since Paul Maneri left the Gamecocks, and we've seen that interim situation going on with Lee. Just what do you think this kind of locker room has seen and changed? Do you think that was the right call now that we can look at it with an outside lens? And we just saw something happen that hasn't happened in 2 years?
Admittedly, I haven't been able to follow it as closely as I'd like to with all the basketball and golf of it all over the past 3 weeks to a month. But immediately from watching it from afar, it seemed like the tone of the team and of the dugout was kind of different pretty soon after he was out. And Monty Lee seemed to be letting them do some different things that they hadn't before, namely, celebrating after, achieving big things on the field, which it seems like they never really did before. So nice to see them really, get some of that confidence back, or not necessarily confidence back, but just be able to utilize themselves in a different way and carry themselves in a different way that they may not have been before. So I'm excited to get back out there and start following this team more closely now that that's what we've got our sights set on the rest of the way, and see if they can really, create some trouble for some teams out there that are at the top of the rankings, namely Mississippi State this weekend. It'll be nice to see if they can take one or two and maybe take the series.
Yeah, you hope that South Carolina is going to find their rhythm after so many changes this season. And, of course, a lot of Gamecocks fans out there are still wondering who is going to be the next coach. Kevin Schnall from Coastal Carolina, of course, one of the names that's been thrown out there a couple of times. And we asked him about that a couple weeks ago, and he really didn't give us much, just said he was focused on Coastal Carolina, and that's his main priority. But looking at Coastal's performance this weekend, they did pick up a series win over Arkansas State on the road. They lost that Sunday finale, but it is only their second conference loss of the year. They still sit at the top of those standings in the Sun Belt, and they are still ranked number 11 in the D1 Baseball Top 25. We've got to take a quick break here on Palmetto Sports Daily. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Palmetto Sports Daily. Tonight is one of the biggest nights in women's basketball. Now, if you're watching this show before 7 o'clock Eastern, the WNBA Draft coming up tonight, and 3 Gamecock women are hoping to hear their names called in New York City and take the next step in their professional basketball careers. Raven Johnson, Medina Okot, and Tanaya Latson all invited to attend the draft. Now, only 15 players were invited to attend this year's draft, so that means a fifth of those invited are former now Gamecocks, sad to say, but they are all gearing up for what they hope will be the next chapter in their careers. And I've taken a look at some of the mock drafts. Of course, I feel like sometimes with the WNBA, it can kind of go any which way. I think we can almost expect that AZ Fudd's going to be the number 1 draft pick of this class. Lauren Betts will go top 5. But after that, it kind of just goes based on what teams need. I have ESPN projecting that Raven would get drafted 7th to the new expansion team, Portland Fire. They got the Fever taking Okot at 10 and the Atlanta Dream taking Latson at 13. But then you go over to CBS Sports, they've got something completely different. They've got the Washington Mystics taking Raven, and then back to back, all 3 of these Mystics, Sun for Latson, Dream for Okot. So, of course, mock drafts are exactly that. They are a mock. We don't know exactly what's going to happen here, but looking forward to seeing these players really get to just start the next chapter of their career. It was so fun to see them play here as Gamecocks, especially Raven. I got to cover every single season of her college career, so cool to see them taking that next step, Bella.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, this is what you work your butts off for, and the moment is finally here for them. It's just so exciting, and I'll be glued to my TV screen waiting to see where they end up, and just so excited for them. And going from women's basketball to men's basketball, we also have a pretty groundbreaking event happening for the Hornets. They started the season 16-28, and then after a win last night over the Knicks, they've now finished it 44-38, one of the best seasons that they've had in nearly a decade. And so with that being said, they are in the run to make the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. So things all begin tomorrow when they host the play-in scenario. So they're going to be facing the number 10 Miami Heat on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. And if the Hornets, bear with me here, if the Hornets beat the Heat on Tuesday, they would then advance to the second round of the play-in scenario, where they would face either the 7-seed 76ers or the 8-seed Magic. For that would then lead to finally being in the playoffs for the first time in 9 years, where they would then face the top-ranked seed, the Pistons. So a huge, huge accomplishment for them. Here is their head coach on this accomplishment.
It gives you an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for, especially after the start that we had. And then for the guys to just be resilient, dig down a little bit more, and give ourselves now an opportunity to get into the postseason. It's exciting, and I know that we are hungry to be able to deliver on this opportunity.
An opportunity it is. I mean, just going back to how incredible it was that they started the season off so rocky, but then just started to see guys gel and click. I mean, the rookie Concanipple having one of the best seasons of a rookie I've ever seen in my life. LaMelo Ball playing out of his mind, playing like he's playing in his backyard. I mean, Brownyn, it's just so much fun to watch, and I'm so excited to see them play in this more high-stakes situation tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. By net rating, I will say, okay, Charlotte is 8th best in the league. Net rating, we've already mentioned, most wins in a season since 2016. When you talk to the guys, we heard from them a little bit about what they think it's going to take for them to win this one, right? You got to focus on the first one before you move on. They said they have to play at their pace, they have to play physical, and they did mention anytime they're on the rebound on the glass, they beat Miami. Anytime they are not, and they're not prioritizing rebounding, they lose. So I think that's going to be an interesting key. I think, you know, it's always a key going in, and then once you get there, it always can change a little bit. But I think it's going to be interesting. That's for sure. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, but stick with us. Palmetto Sports Daily. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Palmetto Sports Daily. We started out the show today talking all about the Masters, and I am the only face on your screen that was not there this weekend. However, I did get to go to Monday After the Masters in North Myrtle Beach, which is an annual event that's been going on for about 30 years. It is hosted by Hootie and the Blowfish. It's a celebrity pro-am tournament, and the money raised goes towards youth golf organizations here in the state of South Carolina. There's Darius teeing off this morning, and there were a whole bunch of people there to watch him. I was out there this morning. It was a beautiful day for this, perfect weather. Of course, people in lots of fun Masters type of fashion, carrying over the vibes from the weekend to here in the Grand Strand. And there's a look at Sterling Sharp, of course, the former Gamecock and the Pro Hall of Famer now. And we got the chance to actually catch up with Darius Rucker before he teed off on the 10th hole about what it was like to have the event back here.
I thought it was one of the best parts of it is, you know, seeing all these kids, you know, these parents keeping their kids out of school for a day to come out and, you know, support us like this. And I think it's pretty cool. And, you know, we like to help children, and to see them come out and support us, that's great too.
And that was him talking about supporting the youth organizations that the money does go towards. They've raised about $10 million throughout the 30 years that they've been doing this. And guys, it was super cool to get to catch up with him. I got a picture of him with him posted on my Instagram story. Lots of jealous friends, but he was very kind, took the time to talk to us, and he's clearly very passionate about coming back to the Grand Strand year after year. Besides him, of course, there was a list of celebrities. We had former South Carolina Gamecock Jackie Bradley Jr., who's also a World Series champion, Yankees legend Bernie Williams, and then Sterling Sharp, of course, Steve Smith Jr., rapper Big Daddy Kane, and many others. It was a list of, I think, celebrities that were not exactly of our generation of the faces that you're seeing on the show right now, but it was really cool to do my research on them and learn about them. So I'm kind of curious, Julia, you know, if you got to look at the list or maybe just what you thought of seeing the video there this morning.
I didn't see the list of who's out there, but what a weekend for Darius Rucker. I mean, it's always special to see how much he still cares for South Carolina and how much he does for the state of South Carolina. I mean, to come here, play in the Garnet and Black Spring Fest concert and then go out and be in Myrtle Beach today. So it's always special to see him, and especially when he just shows up to, women's basketball games and he's there supporting. So he loves his Gamecocks. He loves South Carolina, and it's always special to see him out here and just, championing the things that he does.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And he's super passionate about, supporting different organizations here in the state and hosting events here. And yeah, it was great to see him perform at the Garnet and Black Spring Festival, since the Gamecocks didn't get to have a spring game this year because of construction on the stadium. But I also had the chance to catch up with Sterling Sharp about what it was like to be out there interacting with all the fans again.
It's funny, we've been lending our name, image, and likeness to events like this for a long time. I mean, I know NIL and college sports is getting a lot of ink right now, but, anytime I can come out here, sign an autograph or two, take a picture or two, then it's a good time. Like I said, it's for great causes, it's good people, and it's a pleasure to lend my name, image, and likeness.
Sterling Sharp was a great dude to interview, by the way. He gave some great sound bites. I want to do a quick speed round. If you could see any celebrity in a celebrity pro-am tournament, who would it be? Julia, we'll start with you.
Oh no, I'm on the spot. I'm going to say who I saw on the 18th green yesterday, Usher.
Oh, good one.
Perfect. Ella?
Oh gosh, this is so hard. I truly don't even know where to begin, but my mind is going to what we were talking about in the break. I'm going to say Chris Stapleton. I'm a huge country music gal.
There you go.
Brownyn.
All right, mine's got to be Travis Kelce. He was at the Masters. I'm so sad I didn't see him, but I want to see him. I want to see him in person.
Valid, so valid. I'm going with Josh Allen. We're continuing the athlete theme here. I love Josh Allen. Go Bills. Go Palmetto Sports Daily. We'll see you tomorrow.